live stream. We're super excited to have you guys here. Thanks for being here, Ethan. In today's episode, we're going to showcase a super awesome Primeape and Marowak EX deck that absolutely destroys the meta. I've had a lot of fun playing with it, and so I'm excited to show it off for you guys. Make sure to stick around to the end of this video. We're going to try and do 5 battles and versus and see if we can get a winning record out of this to show that it's a viable deck in the meta. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I do weekly battles every single week, obviously on Tuesdays, showcasing different decks in Pokemon Pocket that do really well, and I think you guys should try out. So this week, like I said, we're doing this Marowak EX and Primeape deck. Let me know in the comments if there's any decks you guys would like to see. We're really pushing for that 10K subscriber mark, and so if you could help us out, that would be awesome. We'd love to have you here. So let's see, first off, we're going second, which is ideal, especially with this deck. And we'll go through the strategy a little bit as I talk, and I may actually showcase a couple different Marowak decks. Marowak EX is a very powerful Pokemon in Pokemon Pocket. Does really, really well in the meta, and it sets up really quickly. One of the reasons I love this deck is how fast it is, and so we'll showcase a little bit of that here. And it looks like we're going against a Dragonite deck, which is a little bit dangerous, but our deck actually does really well against that because, like I said, our deck is really focused on speed. And because of that, forces him to make sure that he can't switch back out without wasting another energy. So we don't have to face a 30 hit damage from Wheezing if he evolves with the poison, because that would KO us, which would lose us the match. And there we go. He doesn't evolve, which is perfect. That's what I was hoping for. And he actually doesn't attach any energy, which is strange, and he concedes. Okay, there we go. So we got a dub right off the bat. He knew what was coming. We would have won pretty easily after that. We would have had a fully set up Primeape, and he didn't really have anywhere to go. So that's one dub under the belt. Ethan asking if we can make a Nidoking, Nidoqueen deck. That would be awesome. I actually do want to do that in the future. Unfortunately, I do not have Nidoking or Nidoqueen yet. Those are 2 of the cards I'm missing. There's a couple cards I'm really hunting. I am a free-to-play player, and so Nidoking and Nidoqueen are some of the ones on my list. Once I get those cards, I will absolutely think about making a deck about that, and I'll showcase it here because that is one that I do want to try out. But we're going into battle number 2 here, and we're going first this time. So this deck does do better when you go second, but it works going first as well. If for those of you who don't know, this promo Mankey that hopefully you were able to receive in the last promo event has a really nice ability where it does damage to itself, which is good because Primeape will do 60 more damage if he has already been hit. And so if I go second, I usually just use that move to damage ourselves, and then we can get Primeape fully set up and do more damage. If I'm going first, I usually just allow them to hit me, and then I try and tank another hit with Primeape if possible, just to put the 2 energy on without attacking, because you want to be careful that you don't accidentally get yourself knocked out. So you just have to be really strategic. If you think they're going to do damage to you, sometimes it's best not to attack because you don't want to have too much damage on you. And as you can see here, he's a little bit worried about putting damage on me. And so this is somewhere where we're going to have to be careful. Because my guess is that he probably has a Tentacruel, and he's just waiting to set up and do enough damage to knock us out in one hit. So I think what our best bet is going to be, and this may be a risky move, we could start just setting up Marowak. But what I think I'm going to try and do... I can't do that. I was going to switch into... I was going to use Sabrina and force them to get into the Tentacruel and to the other Tentacruel that wasn't set up, and we would have been fine. But unfortunately, I did use Professor's research. So instead, I'm just going to evolve and trust that he'll be able to hit me, because luckily for us, he can't one-shot us with Tentacruel. I think Tentacruel only does 50 damage, and so by the time he hits us, we should be okay. That is unfortunate. That wasn't what I was going for there, because Tentacruel does poison us as well, which is not really a good situation, because if we hadn't evolved yet, we could have saved us from that. But I was right. He does have a Tentacruel there in the back. That is what I was expecting. And so I think the play here is we'll set up Primeape, and let's see, 50 damage, and they poison us. What we'll do is we'll force switch him into his other Tentacruel, We'll hit him once. Unfortunately, Primeape is pretty weak if he hasn't been hit yet, so this isn't the best situation for us. But we can do 40 damage right now, and then if he hits us again, we should be able to one-shot him. And with that Tentacruel out of the way, things are a little bit safer. Looks like his deck is also pretty quickly set up, which does make it a little bit more dangerous, but we should be okay. And congratulations, Ethan, you just pulled the illustration rare Pidgeot. That is awesome. I love all the really cool full art cards in the game, and so that's super sweet that you're able to get the Pidgeot. That's one of my favorites. And you have the full art Nidoqueen as well, which is sweet. That's definitely one that I've been hunting. And so we'll see about that. If you guys, thank you MSW. Love that you appreciate the videos. I put them out for you guys, and so it makes me happy to hear that you guys appreciate it. Thank you for being here on the stream and supporting the channel. It means the world to me. And looking here, I kind of want to troll him again, to be honest, and just switch back into the other Tentacruel. I'm not sure if it's the best plan, but I kind of like the idea of just being obnoxious. One of my philosophies in this game is anything I can do to annoy my opponent is usually a pretty good strategy. And so I could have just hit this Tentacle here, and then I would have been able to one-shot either of them, which might have been a better move. But we'll evolve Marowak here, and we'll just let off another move on this Tentacle. Cruel. Yeah, I guess in retrospect, it probably would have been smarter to not switch there, but I like to be obnoxious. One of these videos, I'm going to send out a video. We'll probably do a live stream on some of the best troll decks just to mess with people, because I think that is one of the more fun things that you can do in this game. I'm glad the tips have helped, MSW. That is one of the main things I try and do, is just put out tips for you guys, because I know that's one of my biggest things, is just to see better ways I can be playing games. And so I'm glad that that's been helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys would like to see, if there's any future decks you're looking for, anything that you would use assistance about, any questions you have about the game, and I'd be happy to answer them for you. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that as well. You guys are the GOAT for watching here. And now this is one of those situations where I think some people just don't read very well in Pokemon Pocket, because he just used 2 potions on his Tentacruel and then attacked me, and I think he doesn't realize that Primeape can do 100 damage when he's been hit. And so I could switch out here into Marowak. I could use an X speed, and I would save Primeape. I think I'm gonna, and I might actually do that. I'm a little bit nervous, because unfortunately Marowak does have the coin flip, which isn't my favorite. And so as long as we get 1 heads, Tentacruel's down, and we'll have a not healed, but unpoisoned Primeape who's fully set up and ready to go. So we just need 1 heads. Tails, come on, heads. Awesome. Okay. The worst is when you get the double tails with Marowak and he does no damage. That makes me sad every time, and it's pretty awkward. But as long as you get at least 1 heads, you do pretty good damage. And now we're in a really good spot. He just has Tentacle with 1 energy, and then we've got a fully set up Marowak and Primeape. And so we should be able to handle anything he throws against us. I think this is probably going to be a dub for us, but we'll wait and see what he has to pull out. Some of the deck cards I'm looking for, let me know what you guys are going for. I really want this full art Blastoise to build a Blastoise deck. Oh, and there we go. Okay, he conceded. So that's 2 concedes in a row. Right now we're 2-0 with this deck. We're going to see if we can go maybe 5-0, but at least if we get 3 out of 5, I like to show that shows that this is a winning deck. Because that is one of the big things about Pokemon Pocket, is there is obviously luck of the draw. Every once in a while you'll get a bad start, your opponent will get a good start, and even if you have a great deck, you can still lose. But if the deck can manage to win several times in a row, that's a pretty good sign that it's one that you should be using. So we'll be going along with that. I do really like this deck. And one of the advantages with it, again, that I've talked about is it's quick. And when you're doing deck building in Pokemon Pocket, that's one of the things that you should look for, is what is a deck that can move and get set up really fast. Because there are some great decks out there and great cards like Charizard and Blastoise, but the problem behind it, a lot of them, is they just take a long time to get set up. Which in a game where you only need 3 kills or 2 KOs, if you knock out an EX Pokemon, then things can move really, really fast. And so one of the things that I like to do is if I can get a deck like this that gets set up really quickly, you can usually beat most decks because you're able to attack before they're ready. And so with Primeape and Marowak here, they both only take 2 energy, and so it's a pretty good shot on there. And shoot, we just lost. That was an unfortunate coin flip right there. He got the double heads Dizzy Punch, and so we are not going to go 5-0. We didn't have any other basic Pokemon, so that's what I'm talking about there. Even with a really good deck, I think our deck normally would have beaten theirs, but we got unlucky with the coin flip there and the start. So that's unfortunate. I thought that against him with Kangaskhan, we would have taken it pretty easily. But we'll go for the next one here. Right now we're 2 out of 3. Yeah, as far as the bent pack thing, as far as I understand, that unfortunately doesn't work. I think the chances are just sometimes you do get good cards. And so sometimes it may look bent and you get cards, but it's not a guarantee. It's just the normal odds. And that's one of the things about the game. Sometimes people question the odds for Wonder Pick and other stuff, but the game legally does have to tell you the odds of getting any card. And so it'll all just be, whether it's a bent pack or not, it's what it says in the little option bar, which I can show you maybe after we finish our 5 battles here if anyone has questions about that. We have an interesting deck here. I'm assuming this is probably a Weezing Greninja deck, which is actually pretty dangerous. And so I think what I'm going to do is start setting up Mankey here. The nice thing about this, he's going to go first, which I don't love. I mean, we're going first, which I don't love, so we can't attack. But hopefully he'll hit Mankey at least once. Oh, no, we went second. Excuse me. Sorry. Then that's actually what I'm worried about, is if he hits us with Weezing, we will die. So I don't think we can hit him. We could have him switch into Froakie, but I think, unfortunately, we're just going to have to end turn here. Because, what the heck? We have a little weird connection there. Okay. Yeah, you really have to be strategic with the Mankey Primeape deck here. Because, like I said, if I would have hit him right there, we would have had 40 health. And then if he evolves into Weezing, he can hit us once and use Weezing's ability, and we would get KO'd. And now if he doesn't evolve here, we made the wrong choice. But there we go. Yeah, so he evolves into Weezing, and we definitely would have died right there. And so that was a good move on our part, not going for it. Now let's see if he's smart. Luckily, he's not. So he's going to hit us, and we will only have 10 HP. But as long as he doesn't red card us, which he doesn't, we can heal ourselves up with a potion right here, which will get us to 30. We'll put on a second fighting energy. We'll evolve into Primeape, which will heal us from poison. And then our attack will now do 60 damage, plus the Weezing's weakness will knock it out completely. And so it'll do 120 damage, and he's gone. Now, this is one of the things that I love about this deck as well. Not only is it fast to set up, it does so well against the current meta. The meta right now can be really annoying. You've got a combination often of Weezing is a huge one that kills decks. Then you also have Pikachu, who kills decks, and Mewtwo. This deck sets up much quicker than Mewtwo, but is a little bit weak to it. That's probably its biggest competition. But the other great thing, and he's going to switch us out here, so Cubone's going to get wrecked. So that is unfortunate. This is actually going to be a little quick. We need to draw another card or we're in trouble. Oh, and he uses Water Shuriken on us. Well, he could have... Oh, no, he won't. Oh, sorry. I just mumbled a lot. But I miscalculated the amount of energy on him. But this deck destroys Pikachu because it has the advantage, and it also does really well against a lot of the other top meta decks. Now, the question here, this is a tricky one. Greninja is pretty powerful. What we could do is we could knock out the Frogadier, and that would work pretty well. But I think what I'm going to do, actually, because once Greninja is set up, he can fully KO Primeape. So I think our best bet... Oh, but if he's got another Sabrina... He's out of cards, though. So I think what we're going to do is actually going to sacrifice this first Cubone. And I think we'll be okay. We'll let him knock out Cubone, and then we'll switch into Primeape. We'll get 100 damage off, and Greninja should be able to KO our Primeape as well, unfortunately. But then if we are able to have a fully set up Marowak before then, I think we should be able to take the dub. So we'll see what he's doing. That's what I guess is he'd probably put his Water Shuriken on Primeape, and then he's going to hit Cubone here and knock him out, which is unfortunate, but it is sustainable. Now, as long as we pull Marowak, we should be safe. If we don't pull Marowak, we're in trouble. Oh, okay. That works as well. He's going to knock us out no matter what. So we'll pull out Giovanni here and do as much damage as we can. And then we'll see what we can do. So fight back. It'll do 110. It won't KO. We need to pull Marowak next turn or we're probably going to lose. Looking at comments here. Once I get 10 members, as a reward, I'll start doing some live streams when I battle with you guys, and we'll be able to battle together, which I think will be a really fun thing. As far as my favorite deck in the game, Ethan, that is a hard question because I really actually like trying out a lot of interesting decks. I'm a big fan of the Alakazam deck. I also really like the Dragonite deck. I think is really fun to play with. But this Marowak deck actually has started to be one of my favorites. I think it does really, really well. I'm interested in trying out a Venusaur deck at some point, and then Starmie deck is really good, and I want to try something with Greninja here once I pull those from the promo event going on right now. But that wasn't really a clear answer. I don't know that I have a favorite deck yet. There's too many that I like playing with, but this is one that I do really enjoy. But let me know in the comments what's your favorite deck. I would love to know that. And interesting, I think he just made a pretty not great. Oh, he's got 2 Greninjas. Shoot. I was about to say he made a dumb move, but it is me that made the dumb move. I didn't think about him evolving into Greninja with his other one, and I saved my potion. Shoot. If I would have used that potion, I think we would have been in a much better position. He couldn't have knocked us out with the 2 Greninjas, and we would have gotten 100 damage off on this Articuno. But unfortunately, that didn't happen, so we're a little bit in trouble now. There's a couple things we could do here. We could try and Sabrina him and knock out one of his Greninjas, but I'd actually rather try and take out this Articuno, because if we knock out the Articuno EX, we will get 2. We'll get 2 cards, and that'll win us the game. So we're just going to try and get lucky here. If we get 2 heads, we win. If we don't, then we're in trouble. But I think we still have a good chance. We get 1 heads. But the bright side about that is if we get at least 1 heads next turn, we can take out Articuno, which puts him in a pretty difficult position. He is going to be able to do a lot of damage with Water Shuriken, which is unfortunate. So this one's going to come down to the wire and to coin flips. If we get lucky with coin flips, I think we got the dub. If not, then we're going to be in trouble. But let me know what your guys' favorite... Shoot, I forgot about Misty. Okay, if he hits double heads here, I think we still... Okay, perfect. He gets tails, so that saved us. If he would have gotten heads there, things wouldn't have been as well. I think we still would have lived 1 more. But this is definitely going to come down to a coin flip. If we get double tails, we lose. But we'll see. You have a lot of decks you're trying to play, but just can't pull the right cards. Yeah, that's kind of the way this game goes, unfortunately, from what I've seen, is there is a certain amount of luck. You just need to be able to pull some of the right cards. And so sometimes you get unlucky, but what I've found is if you go long enough and for hunting the right cards, you'll get them, and you can build some basic decks in the meantime. And so you should have some that you can start with, and then Wonder Pick is a great way. If you can get 1 or 2 EX cards that work well, you can start making a deck there. I think what we'll do to put the pressure on is get a Sabrina here. I'd like him to switch into Articuno, because if we take it out, we get the win. If he doesn't, then we'll at least hopefully be able to take out the other Greninja, which will lower the Water Shuriken pressure. He did get rid of all of his energy on Articuno with the retreat, though, which was a pretty dangerous move on his part, because if we take out this Greninja right here, he has no energy on any of his Pokemon. So give me at least 1 heads. There we go. Okay, so Greninja's down. We're 2-2 right now. We're in a pretty good position, and he has no energy on any of his Pokemon. So if he pulls another Misty, which he's only used 1, I assume he has 2 in his deck. He's got 1 card in his hand, about to be 2, and 3 here. So there's a good chance he'll pull a Misty, which could put us in a little bit of a dangerous position. But I think we've got a pretty good chance here. Marowak Centennial, thanks for being here. Welcome to the stream. stream, Marowak is your favorite deck. I think it's definitely been my favorite right now too. I just love its consistency and how fast it goes. I think you can just win so quickly with it that I really do enjoy it. Next up, you're going to make an Amistar deck. That is one that I'm looking forward to as well. I'm really trying to pull Amistar and Kabutops. I would love to make a fossil deck. So let me know how that goes once you do that. That's something I'm looking for as well. I just made a huge mistake. Out of habit, I used Professor Oak. I should have done Sabrina, and then we only would have needed one heads to win. So I kind of just put us in a bad position here. Hopefully we get the double heads here, and it'll be fine. But that mistake could have cost us the game. We'll see what happens. Well, we get double tails anyways, so that actually sucks. But that might be okay. As long as he doesn't switch into Articuno and have a Misty that gets it fully set up, we're fine. If he gets Misty with at least 2 heads, he probably wins. But he puts the energy on Greninja. And so I think as long as he doesn't get Misty, as long as he doesn't get Misty with 3 heads now and switch into Articuno, we should be fine. At least one more turn. We'll need to use Sabrina. And then as long as we can get 1 hit off on Articuno, we should win. But what's going to come... Ooh, never mind. Okay, he goes for the double potion, which actually sucks because now we do need 2 heads to win. And he can kill us with a Water Shuriken. So I think unless we get 2 heads here, we lost. This has definitely been a tricky battle. This guy's doing pretty well, and I made a few mistakes. So we'll see what happens here. It's luck of the coins. If the Pokemon TCG Pocket gods want us to win, we will. And they want us to lose. Shoot. So that was pretty unfortunate. We got a little bit rough with the coin flips there. That is the one thing that kind of sucks about the Marowak deck, is sometimes if you get tails, you're just screwed and you'll lose. But if you get heads, it can do really well. So that's going to be a loss for us, which means we're 2 for 2 now. We got to win at least 1 more here so that we can show that this is a viable deck. And it is a viable deck. I've definitely won more than 3 in a row with this deck. But I'd like to get it here on stream for you guys. So that was an unfortunate loss. But hey, that was a really good deck that he built. Honestly, good on him. Greninja is a very tricky deck to go up against. And so I'm really excited. I haven't been able to pull Greninja. That's been one of the cards I've been trying to pull for a while now, and I just haven't gotten lucky enough to get one. But with this promo event going on, you can get Greninja pretty easily. I'll probably put a video about that soon. And so that's exciting. I should be able to get a Greninja deck up and running, and maybe that's one we can feature on stream one of these weeks. But that's pretty sweet. Battle with Marowak. I would love to do a battle with Marowak. Having that as a reward for 10 members. Right now we're at 3. So if we can hit that 10-member goal, I'll have a live stream where I battle all of you guys who come on in, and we'll try out different decks, and it'll be a lot of fun. So if we can get the members up to 10, we will definitely do that, and it'll be a party. We can have Marowak on Marowak and see what happens. So we'll go in here. We're up against a Coughing one again. Now, this deck does usually do really well against Coughing. I prefer it if we're second, though. Since we're first, it's a little bit more dangerous. And so we're just going to have to see what happens here. Hopefully he won't be able to evolve into Weezing right off the bat, which is good. But we would have to evolve first turn so he doesn't KO us, which I don't love because I prefer to keep him as a Mankey until he evolves into Weezing, because then we can heal ourselves from poison. And so this is actually going to be a little bit of a tricky one for us, I think. We didn't get the greatest start. So right here, he would KO us. Actually, never mind. We drew a potion, so I think we're fine. What we're going to have to do here is just put on 1 energy on Mankey, and then we can't evolve this turn. And we'll evolve a Marowak just in case he red cards us. And if he does, that would suck, but hopefully he doesn't. We won't attack in case he has Weezing here, which I'm assuming he does. I find in Pokemon Pocket it's best to assume the worst, and then you might get lucky, and that's awesome. But as long as you assume the worst, you won't get surprised. And because I know here if he does evolve into Weezing, and we would have been in trouble. But he may not have Weezing because he hasn't evolved it yet, so I guess we didn't have to do that. But I think with Primeape, with his weakness and Giovanni, we can take out Coughing anyways, which is okay with me. Because honestly, I find even though Muck is really powerful, Wheezing is a much bigger threat in my mind with the poison. It's really dangerous, and Muck takes a while to set up. So I think we should be fine. We'll pull out our Pokeball here and get our next Mankey. And then we'll play a Giovanni. And actually, we don't even need Giovanni because he hit us, which is awesome. So I'll hold Giovanni in the back, and Coughing goes down. Try to get a line to battle. I tried to time it to get the battle, but he didn't. That would have been funny. Yeah, if you timed that perfectly, that would be awesome. I would have been very impressed if you got that in here. But I think this one should be a dub for us pretty easily. I don't see much of a way he can come back and win this one. And yeah, he concedes. So right there, we go 3 for 5. That is a winning record that I'm pretty excited about. And this deck is awesome. If you have any questions about it, leave it down in the comments below. Once again, if you're enjoying these streams, please hit that subscribe button. We're working to 10K subscribers. I really want to be able to get a lot of these videos out for you. And the more subscribers I get, the more members, the more time I'm able to dedicate in making videos for you guys that can help you out. We're going to open a booster pack here because we do have the ability to do that, our energy recharged. And so we'll open this one for you guys, and then we'll end off this stream. It's been a productive stream. I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, and we just pulled a Primeape, which is awesome. But looks like we got a trash pack. So unfortunately, nothing too good there. I think we might have a promo pack as well in our gifts that we'll open up together. But let me know. I'm going to send out a community post this week, probably around Thursday, asking what you guys would like to see for the deck next week. But feel free to put some comments in here as well, and I'll definitely put those in the community post. But I wish it was a God pack, Ethan. That would have been sweet, but unfortunately we got unlucky. We do get the new Onyx here, which now it kind of sucks as a card, but it does look pretty cool, and I'm always one for getting new cards, so I'm glad we got that there. I'm really hunting for that Greninja so we can use it like the deck did against us. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for being here for the stream, and we'll catch you guys next week.